In a world where most people seek attention and validation, the Sigma female quietly sets herself apart. She moves with confidence, indifferent to trends and societal pressures, making her presence felt without ever seeking the spotlight. Her independence and authenticity leave a lasting impression, even though she isn't trying to fit in. If you're curious about the unique traits that define this captivating personality, this guide will reveal the key signs to recognize a Sigma female. Subscribe to the Sigma Sisterhood channel and join us in exploring the strength of this remarkable and rare woman. 1. Eyes that dissect, not just observe. When you encounter a Sigma female, her eyes will instantly make an impact. Her gaze is far from ordinary. It doesn't simply glance over you, but seems to peer deeply, dissecting every detail. She possesses a remarkable ability to read people, almost as if she can sense the essence behind your words, your actions, and even your silence. This is a natural talent, not something she's cultivated consciously, and it allows her to understand more about you than you may realize. Unlike others who are content with surface-level observations, the Sigma female intuitively picks up on subtle cues and inconsistencies, making her an exceptional judge of character. Whether someone is trying to impress, deceive, or blend in, she sees through their facades. It's not that she's suspicious, she's simply perceptive. This ability can be intimidating, as it often feels like there's no hiding from her scrutiny. Her gaze can reveal what's hidden, shining a light on things even you might not have noticed about yourself. But it's not all about intimidation. To those who value authenticity, her ability to see beyond the surface can feel refreshing, like she truly understands you without you needing to explain yourself. This perceptiveness makes her an excellent confidant, especially for those who are drawn to genuine connections. In her eyes, you'll see both a reflection of your true self and the potential she believes you possess. When she connects with someone, it's on a deeper, more meaningful level, which makes her relationships feel richer and more profound. 2. Silent provocation. The Sigma female doesn't need to raise her voice or make grand gestures to challenge the status quo. Her quiet rebellion is far more effective. She operates in a way that feels almost effortless, living her life with an independence that naturally shakes people up. Her refusal to conform isn't a loud act of defiance, but rather a simple choice to live on her own terms, and that choice in itself is revolutionary. Unlike those who seek attention through overt actions, the Sigma female provokes thought in others just by being herself. When people see her living freely, pursuing her own goals without worrying about societal expectations, it triggers something within them. Her very existence challenges people to question their own lives. Why do they follow trends, chase approval, or stay stuck in routines that don't fulfill them? This silent provocation makes others reflect on their own compromises, abandoned dreams, and the masks they wear to fit in. What makes this trait so powerful is that it's not directed at anyone specifically. She's not trying to prove a point or make others feel inadequate. She's simply focused on her own path, and her self-assurance naturally forces others to reevaluate their own choices. It's like holding up a mirror. People can't help but see the ways they're limiting themselves. This subtle but undeniable impact makes her a quiet catalyst for change, even if she never utters a word about it. Without trying to be a leader or influencer, she inspires those around her to consider how they, too, can live more authentically. 3. Sparse social media presence. In an age where oversharing is the norm, the Sigma female stands out by doing the exact opposite. If she has a social media presence at all, it's minimal and often cryptic. While most people curate their lives for public consumption, posting daily updates, selfies, and personal milestones, her profiles are bafflingly sparse. You won't find her sharing intimate details or broadcasting her day-to-day life. Instead, her online presence feels like a puzzle with missing pieces, leaving those who try to follow her guessing. Her reluctance to engage with social media isn't about being mysterious or playing games. It's simply that she values her privacy and sees no need to seek validation through likes, comments, or followers. For the Sigma female, real life happens offline, in personal moments that don't need to be shared with the world. She understands the power of leaving things unsaid, allowing her actions and lifestyle to speak for themselves. In a world where oversharing is rampant, this restraint feels refreshing, even alluring. The few posts she does make might be vague, abstract, or focused on things she finds personally meaningful, rather than seeking approval. This doesn't mean she's detached or uninterested in connection. Rather, it's her way of maintaining control over what she shares and with whom. She prefers deeper, more meaningful relationships that are built in real life, away from the artificiality of social media. By keeping her digital footprint light, she draws people in without even trying, making them more curious about who she really is beneath the sparse updates. 4. Low tolerance for nonsense. One of the most striking traits of the Sigma female is her low tolerance for nonsense. She has little patience for shallow conversations, pointless drama, or anything that doesn't add value to her life. While she won't overtly call someone out or create conflict, her actions speak louder than words. When faced with situations or people who waste her time, she'll simply disengage, often without explanation. This isn't about being rude or dismissive. It's about protecting her energy and focusing on what truly matters. She values meaningful conversations and interactions, and if she feels that the discussion has no depth or purpose, she'll quietly step away. You might notice her mentally checking out of a conversation with a long pause or a shift in focus, and you'll realize that she's no longer invested. This subtle dismissal is a clear signal that she doesn't have time for trivialities. Her low tolerance for nonsense also extends to how she handles relationships. She won't tolerate dishonesty, manipulation, or immaturity in her personal connections. If someone doesn't meet her standards or continuously brings negativity into her life, she won't waste energy trying to fix them or the situation. Instead, she'll gracefully distance herself, leaving behind those who can't keep up with her intellectual or emotional maturity. This approach isn't about superiority. It's about maintaining her own peace of mind and ensuring that her time is spent on what truly matters. 5. Her silence feels like judgment. The silence of a Sigma female is powerful. It's not the uncomfortable, awkward kind of silence that lingers between two people unsure of what to say. Instead, her quietness feels intentional, almost as though she's taking the time to observe, evaluate, and form a conclusion without saying a word. This can feel unnerving to others, especially those used to constant chatter or verbal feedback, as they may interpret her silence as judgment. In truth, her silence often reflects her self-sufficiency and thoughtful nature. She doesn't feel the need to fill every moment with words or explanations. When she falls silent, she's processing information, weighing what has been said, and deciding whether or not it's worth her energy to respond. People who are not confident in their own words or actions may find this intimidating, feeling as though she's silently critiquing them. However, it's rarely about judgment. It's about conserving her energy for situations that truly matter. For those who value genuine interactions, her silence is not threatening, but comforting. It signifies that she's present in the conversation, absorbing every detail and carefully considering her next move. It's a sign that when she does speak, her words will carry weight and intention. Her silence leaves space for reflection, for others to question themselves and their motives. It's part of her ability to cut through superficiality and get to the heart of what really matters. 6. She ignores trends completely. The Sigma female doesn't just avoid trends, she completely ignores them. While many people are swept up in what's fashionable or popular, chasing the latest fads in clothing, opinions, or lifestyle choices, she remains blissfully unaffected. It's not that she's trying to be different or rebel against the norm. She simply doesn't care about trends because they are, by their nature, temporary. Instead, she's grounded in her own identity and follows her personal values, which rarely align with what's currently in. This gives her an air of timelessness. While others jump from one trend to the next, trying to stay relevant, the Sigma female remains constant, anchored in her own authenticity. Her style, whether in fashion or in her way of thinking, is unique and entirely her own. She doesn't dress or behave in a way that's designed to impress others. Instead, she chooses what feels right for her, even if it's out of sync with what everyone else is doing. Her indifference to trends also extends to her opinions and beliefs. She doesn't echo the popular thoughts of the moment just to fit in. Instead, she forms her views based on careful thought and analysis, often arriving at conclusions that may not align with mainstream perspectives. This makes her stand out not because she's trying to, but because her authenticity is so rare in a world obsessed with fitting in. 7. She's not trying to be different. She just is. The Sigma female's uniqueness isn't a performance, it's simply who she is. Unlike some who go out of their way to stand apart from the crowd, she doesn't need to make any special effort to be different. Her individuality is a natural expression of her authentic self. She's not interested in rebellion for rebellion's sake or in breaking the mold to be noticed. She's comfortable in her own skin, and this quiet confidence naturally sets her apart from others. While many people are caught up in the game of adjusting their behavior, style, or opinions to either fit in or stand out, the Sigma female has already transcended this. Her choices are driven by a deep sense of self-awareness and a clear understanding of what truly matters to her. She isn't swayed by external pressures or expectations, which gives her a sense of freedom that others often envy. Her life isn't about pleasing others, seeking approval, or making a statement. It's about living in a way that feels true to who she is. People often find themselves drawn to her not because she's loudly declaring her difference, but because she embodies a rare self-assuredness. Her authenticity makes her magnetic, even when she's not trying to capture attention. In a world full of people constantly adjusting to external forces, the Sigma female's effortless uniqueness feels like a breath of fresh air. Her presence alone can inspire others to embrace their own individuality without fear. 8. Ephemeral interests. At first glance, it may seem like the Sigma female has fleeting interests, but this couldn't be further from the truth. When she picks up a new hobby, skill, or area of study, she dives in with intense focus and curiosity. Her passion for learning and personal growth means she immerses herself fully in whatever captures her interest at the moment. However, once she has mastered what she set out to learn, she may quickly move on to something new, giving the impression that her interests come and go on a whim. In reality, her shifting focus is a reflection of her relentless drive for self-improvement. The Sigma female doesn't dabble in things half-heartedly. When something piques her curiosity, she devotes herself to it, learning everything she can in a short amount of time. Once she feels she's achieved her goals, she moves on to the next challenge. This constant exploration keeps her life dynamic and vibrant. To her, there's always something new to learn, some new skill to master, or a fresh perspective to gain. Her ephemeral interests are not signs of boredom or restlessness, but of growth and intellectual hunger. She's not afraid to challenge herself with new experiences, and this adaptability allows her to quickly excel in various areas. While some may stick to one thing for stability, the Sigma female thrives on the continuous pursuit of knowledge. Each new interest enriches her life and adds another layer to her already complex and multifaceted personality. 9th, her conversations feel like mental chess. When you engage in a conversation with a Sigma female, it quickly becomes clear that it's not just idle chit-chat. Every word and pause feels deliberate, as though you're playing a strategic game of mental chess. She listens intently, choosing her responses with care, often guiding the conversation in ways you didn't anticipate. This intellectual depth makes every discussion with her a stimulating and engaging experience. It's not about manipulation or controlling the conversation, far from it. Instead, she has a natural ability to challenge your thinking and open up new perspectives through subtle, thought-provoking exchanges. Her mind is always several steps ahead, processing what you say and responding in a way that invites deeper reflection. Conversations with her often leave you replaying her words in your mind, wondering if there was a hidden layer of meaning you missed. This makes interactions with a Sigma female both intellectually rewarding and exciting. She has the ability to stretch your thinking, introduce new ideas, and make you question your assumptions, all without you realizing it in the moment. It's a rare skill, and it's part of what makes her so captivating to those who appreciate depth in their conversations. 10. She doesn't care about your opinion of her nonchalance. The Sigma female's nonchalant attitude toward life can be confusing or even frustrating to those who are used to seeking approval from others. She's calm, composed, and utterly unconcerned with how others perceive her. If someone finds her indifferent, aloof, or too laid back, it doesn't affect her in the slightest. This isn't an act of arrogance. It's simply that she doesn't place much value on other people's judgments. Her nonchalance comes from a place of deep self-assurance. She knows who she is, what she wants, and what matters to her. Because of this, she doesn't feel the need to prove herself to anyone or seek validation. Her confidence in her own path allows her to focus on what's truly important, without getting caught up in the opinions or expectations of others. If someone disapproves of her relaxed demeanor or lack of interest in impressing them, it's of no consequence to her. This self-assuredness can be intimidating to some, but it's also incredibly freeing. The Sigma female's ability to remain unshaken by external opinions is a testament to her inner strength. She moves through life with a sense of calm purpose, never letting the noise of the outside world distract her from her goals. Her nonchalance isn't a performance. It's a reflection of her unshakable belief in herself and her ability to navigate life on her own terms. In a world where fitting in is often prioritized, the Sigma female stands as a rare example of someone who has embraced her individuality and inner strength. She doesn't seek validation or approval, nor does she try to stand out for the sake of it. Her quiet confidence, independence, and authentic way of living make her both captivating and mysterious. While some may find her intimidating or hard to understand, her essence is rooted in a deep sense of self-awareness and purpose. The Sigma female's refusal to follow trends, her ability to remain unshaken by the opinions of others, and her preference for solitude are all traits that set her apart from the crowd. She moves through life on her own terms, unburdened by societal pressures or superficial concerns. Her interactions are meaningful, her interests diverse, and her silence purposeful. In a world where many people feel the need to conform, the Sigma female is a breath of fresh air, unapologetically herself in every way. For those fortunate enough to be in her presence, her quiet power and authenticity can be both inspiring and enlightening. She represents a path of true independence, where self-reliance and introspection lead to a fulfilling and authentic life. Her journey may not always be understood by others, but for the Sigma female, that's perfectly fine, because she knows exactly who she is and where she's going. And if you feel inspired by this powerful archetype, subscribe to the Sigma Sisterhood channel and join a community of strong, independent women who are embracing their true selves.